Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Vacation Rental Blueprint, the podcast for self-managing short-term rental owners looking to maximize their success in the industry. I am your host, Tim. Joining me, as always, my co-host, TC. TC, hello. I think you're dealing with some stuff right now in good old Colorado.
Oh my goodness. Well, first, hello. But yeah, Colorado, quite the weather that we've never seen in the, 10 plus years we've lived here. And my goodness, we've had 2 consecutive days of massive hail, tornadoes, wind, and just torrential downpour. And when I say hail, we're talking nonstop hail for 45 to 50 minutes, accumulation of 2 to 3 inches all over the house, broken windows, damaged roofs. I mean, it is just mind boggling how much damage a hail pellet can create.
I know you've got, a few properties were impacted, and some of those properties had solar. Some of those properties had classic shingle roofs. I think you've got some Spanish tile on some of them too. And man, just a multitude of risk when hail is falling for 10 minutes, let alone, I think you were telling me like 45 minutes to an hour straight of golf ball size hail.
2 days in a row. And for anyone who doesn't believe and thinks this is hyperbole, go on the website and just Google red rocks and hail, and
Yeah.
you will see the 90 people, God bless them, that were injured by the hail, the massive number of sirens and emergency vehicles that had to go there. I mean, this was unbelievable.
Yeah, I was thinking, having been to Red Rocks out in the foothills of Colorado many times, just thinking about how few places there are to find cover, and just the level of panic that I'm sure everyone experienced, and of course wishing everyone speedy recoveries who had to deal with that, because there's not a lot of cover in that area for sure. I don't think they're going to let you jump on stage with whoever the performer was, and because that's covered, of course, but.
Yeah,
Uh,
and most people went to their car because that's the only thing they had for shelter.
yeah,
But the hail was so large that the hail was breaking the windshields, so
right.
they were really left vulnerable. So I feel really, really bad for everyone that was there. This is a storm that came out of the blue. There's no fault of Red Rocks, because if you look at the weather forecast, there was some rain in the forecast, but this really materialized out of the blue and shocked everybody. And my goodness, this is when you realize the importance, once again, of having a great team of partners that can respond when emergencies happen, and having great insurance. We had proper insurance on the podcast here recently, and this is a reminder that having that team on the ground that can respond and having great insurance to protect you, so important. You never expect or want these things to occur, but when they do, you want to make sure that you're prepared.
Well, and it goes back to about building those relationships with these partners, and keeping it top of mind as these things happen. I know you, and I know the relationships you build, and I also know that as soon as you found out there was hail falling, you were on the phone with your contacts that you needed to get out there to check the roof and the solar, because you understand there's, I don't know, 50,000, 100,000 people impacted, or homes impacted by this. You want to be at the front of that line. You definitely don't want to be, making that call 24 hours after or 48 hours after, because you're going to be at the very back of that line, and then, just kind of sitting around waiting to see what the real damage is.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as the hail started, I text our primary roofer, who is a phenomenal guy and runs a phenomenal company. And if, let's say, the storm started at 9 o'clock in the evening, I
Mhm.
was texting him by 9:30. Hey, can you come to the house tomorrow? Because I'm anticipating a lot of
Right.
damage in these two homes, who were right in the travel pattern. And goodness gracious, he was there. God bless him. But if I hadn't texted him, it'd probably be
Right.
days before I could ever find a roofer that had time to come out, because of the sheer demand.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting, and I hope you'll share as soon as you learn more about, these these solar panels, because I know your properties out in Colorado do leverage solar energy. And you always hear, they're ballistic rated. Oh, they can handle hail. But that's great until you actually have a hailstorm and you're really wondering, okay, well, how much hail can they handle? It'll be great to kind of learn more from once the assessment happens, which I think is either today or tomorrow for you.
Yep, it's today, and I'll let you know because I've got the solar app that I'm watching carefully for all the homes that we cover, just to make sure solar production is happening. Because fortunately, today's a sunny day, so we
Yeah.
ought to be producing nice solar. And if not, then we've got an issue. But yeah, these things are rated for this type of an issue. Now we'll determine if indeed that advertising is true.
And we either will or will not invite that solar company to the podcast based on what they find. Just
Exactly. What was shocking though, with all of the lightning and thunder and massive rain and massive amounts of hail, we didn't lose power for a minute in any of the homes. That was
right.
shocking to me.
Yeah, I mean, we're in, all of our properties here in Florida are in newer communities where, we're not really at much risk of power outages. Yeah, it can always happen. It's always a risk. But I mean, we weathered a few big storms last year and not even a flicker. So a lot going on the exterior of your homes today and this week. But I mean, the one thing that you always and I'm always, so complimentary of you for is, I always know the inside of your homes are spotless. They're clean, they're safe. And all of your rentals, you've done the work necessary and built the right relationships and leveraged the right cleaning company. Shout out to CleaningBnB as always, our sponsor for this show. But today's episode, we're really digging into cleaning. And in season one, we did sort of an introduction to how you should think about the cleaning companies that you employ. But in today's episode, I think we really want to focus a lot more on the responsibilities and the realities of cleaning companies. And this episode, was almost triggered for me as you and I received almost weekly, I think at this point, we receive emails from cleaning companies for our properties making some offers to come clean our properties. And the one I'm referencing, TC, and I think you know which one it is. It is the one we get weekly. That's like, we want your business. Here's how much we're going to charge for you to clean 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms, all the way to 10 bedrooms, and we're going to include 1X paper towels, some dish liquid, sponges, everything. And then also, this is really low pricing, but then please note that our pricing is negotiable with any sort of volume. And it annoys me and aggravates me because I know that there's a short-term rental owner out there that sees this email, and even though we advise against cost cutting your cleaning company because that's not an expense to cut, that's the expense to maintain as you're trying to grow your revenue. There's some poor soul out there who just signed up their 8-bedroom short-term rental for $180 cleaning fee and thinks that they're going to get this great experience. And you and I have spent a lot of time working with cleaning companies and supporting, cleaning companies like CleaningBnB and learning from them as they work and build models to systemize and time everything they do to the point where, in some cases, cleaning properties is more expensive, but you know what you're getting. And so today, TC, I really just, I think we've got quite a few topics to cover, but first and foremost, the math on cleaning a property. Um, it's there, it exists. How many cleaning companies use it or use something like it? I don't want to necessarily throw out a horrible number. I'll just say my gut says very few.
I think that's right. And, the email that you're referencing, I get it probably 3 times a week offering, 4,000 square feet for $180. And, we all have to just stop for a moment and just think logically about, does that even make sense that a 4,000 square foot home can be cleaned for $180. Because if you think about, you said it, Tim, the math, it takes a certain amount of time to clean a bedroom, to clean a bathroom, to clean a kitchen, to really clean the house correctly. But it's more than cleaning. Your cleaner is your first line of defense on everything safety related as well. So this really does come down to there is math behind cleaning. And please, please, please don't be fooled by this low cost provider that you're not sure what you're going to get. If you go into it blindly and only accept an offer because of price without asking the questions like, how much time are you going to spend in the house? Then you're really going to be set up for not only disappointment, but you're going to create a very vulnerable situation for your guest.
One of the questions that I think everyone should ask their cleaning company just to get a foundational understanding. Yes, dig deep, dig deeper, but get a foundational understanding of your cleaning company's mindset. Ask them, how long on average does it take to clean one standard bedroom? Just ask them that question. And some cleaning companies are going to think it's a test, right? They're going to think, oh, I got to answer. It takes us 5 minutes because I want to act like I'm a professional and I'm the fastest and I'm the best. I mean, we have some tried and true research that says if anyone says less than 25 minutes to clean a bedroom, you're probably not getting a clean bedroom. You're paying for a less dirty bedroom.
And if you're listening to this thinking, oh my God, no way, 25 minutes is way too long. This 25 minutes isn't something that we researched, it's something we do.
Yeah.
So when we clean a bedroom, what are the things that you have to do? And why does it take 25 minutes? It's not just making the bed. It's Swiffering, vacuuming underneath the bed, making sure that nothing was left behind under the bed that a child could find and could be dangerous. It's looking in every chest of drawers. It's dusting. It's cleaning the glass surfaces. It's vacuuming, sanitizing the floor. Everything takes time, and we're very efficient when it comes to cleaning. And 25 minutes is the best we can do the right way. Now, can someone do it in 5?
Of course.
Yes, but in 5 minutes, you can't be confident as the owner that the chest of drawers were empty, that under the bed there was nothing there, closets were empty. You've got to be confident that every safety aspect is set up for success by that cleaning team, not just cleaning, but cleaning and safety. It takes time. So now if you've got 8 bedrooms, well, 25 minutes times 8, it's roughly 4 hours. And we haven't even talked about kitchens and bathrooms yet. So
And
again, call to action. You got to stop and think logically about this.
I mean, if someone's telling you 5 to 10 minutes to clean the bedroom, let's be honest, a little unfortunately dirty secret. That bed is not the sheets are not being replaced. There's someone going in there in 5 minutes and checking the sheets and making sure that they're not soiled, and then they're remaking the bed. Because just stripping a bed and remaking a bed, of course, you can do that efficiently and quickly. Um, but I mean that's not going to net you the result you want when you have an 8 bedroom house. So if you're thinking, okay, what was the dollar amount on that email? It was $180 for an 8 bedroom house. So, that's not including, all the other spaces you have to clean and all the other square footage of flooring that need to be cleaned on an 8 bedroom house. The only way to try to do that quickly, and the wrong way to try to do that quickly, is you assess all the sheets on all the beds and make a gut call, which are the ones that absolutely need to be cleaned. And that's disgusting to say. That's like nauseating to think about. But it is something that I have experienced as a guest in Airbnbs across the country. Checking into an Airbnb or a VRBO or a short-term vacation rental, And that cleaning company that's employed by the owner didn't do their job. So I'm opening up some sheets to get in, and they're soiled. Um, and that's a direct result of you probably went with your discount choice. You probably said, okay, well, hey, under $200 for my 8 bedroom house. I got to maximize profitability this way, and you just can't. You cannot do that.
Well, and good testimonial for once again cleaning B&B, because the cleaner that was cleaning this one house that you'll remember called us and said, the guest probably thought they were doing you a favor. They made the bed before they left, but we don't trust that. We always change the sheets regardless. And guess what? We found dirty clothes made into the bed that they mistakenly left behind. Again, this is the diligence that you've got to expect from your cleaning team. And shout out to Cleaning B&B. They do it the right way. And that's what I think the message here of, we'll call this Dirty Little Secrets 2.0. We've got to take cleaning to a higher level. It's not just about what we harp on time and time again, spending the appropriate amount of time and cleaning. But remember, your cleaner is also your first line of defense against all things safety related. So they're going to be your eyes as to whether or not your fire extinguishers are charged. They're going to be your eyes to make sure that all the chest of drawers and underneath the beds are clean. They're going to be your first line of defense, that if there's something broken or if there's a nail protruding from the carpet, that's what they're there to do, in addition to cleaning, is to make sure that it's a clean and a safe environment.
Yeah, we had recently added a new. We redid one of the bedrooms, and we added a new bed frame. And the cleaning company was going through as they did, and then the inspector went through also, and they both pointed it out. I got calls from both of them and said, "Hey, Tim, on the end of this bed, there's a really sharp metal edge, and we don't want anyone to, or a child or an adult to be running through and catch their shin on this edge, because that could be really painful." And it's just, it's that level of attention to detail that you only get by having a clear standard operating procedure for how you address a bedroom. You're actually inspecting the space. And so we advocate heavily for pre and post inspections. And we advocate heavily for choosing the right cleaning company that's going to do a thorough job focused on both cleanliness and safety. So you're really just adding layers of support and extra sets of eyes on some of those safety pieces as well. I mean, that the Disneys of the world, these big hospitality players, all of them, safety, they acknowledge readily safety is job one. And I think we can all learn that lesson, that if we're not prioritizing safety above everything else, we need to just kind of reassess our objectives and our goals, and reposition safety at the top level of our prioritization.
And I think if we run through for our listeners some proven practices
Yeah.
to really set them up for success, them being the owners and obviously the guests, but we always start with, whenever we take on a new home, we take all the photographs of each room, each area of the home, what it looks like staged.
Yeah.
We build that into, you can use PowerPoint, you can use a Google Doc, whatever you are comfortable with, but you build that into a template. We use PowerPoint because we're familiar with it, easy to use. And in addition to the pictures, just some text box of what you expect. When you put that together and give it to your cleaning team, very efficient for them. Now, as they're cleaning, they've got a living, breathing document that shows them how to stage the room appropriately. That's number one. The second thing that we talk about a lot is pre and post pictures. So before
Yep.
the guest checks in, after they check out, a very large number of pictures of the entire house is very, very important. The third piece is making sure your cleaning team has a well defined standard of cleaning as to how they approach cleaning room by room and how much time they're committing. And then, fourth, a safety checklist that they use to go through when they finish the cleaning to make sure the safety of the home is set up for the new guest to check in. Those things can't be delivered for $180 for a 4,000 square foot home. So I think we underscore again there's disciplines to put in place to one of the most important elements of your business, cleaning and safety. And it comes at a cost, but it's a cost that protects you and your guests, and probably one of the more important things you can do.
Hmm. Yeah, and when I think of, some of the objections that we may hear from STR owners listening, it's, well, I can't ask the cleaning company for their checklist. Sure, you can. Call when you're done listening to this episode, call your contact with the cleaning company and ask to see their checklist. How do they ensure consistency? And some of them are going to respond with, "Oh, we don't use checklists. I've had the same cleaners for X amount of time, and they know what to do." And anyone who's done any job with any level of monotony over and over and over again, I think you're going to agree that you start to lose some of your focus. And that's what the power of the checklist is. Not that this is a book recommendation podcast, but read Checklist Manifesto. A great book just talking about, why they're effective and how they're leveraged at some of the highest levels across all industries, because there's the acknowledgement that if I clean a bedroom and if I clean a home with 8 bedrooms, and then I go to another home and I do 3 homes a day or 2 homes a day, and I do that for 5 years, I need that checklist to keep me honest. And if you don't have a cleaning company that acknowledges that, and you just get, we know what we're doing, maybe it's time to shop, because those cleaning companies worth their salt are going to say, absolutely, I'll send you over the checklist we use right now. And then same TC to your point on the PowerPoints. When we were first shopping cleaning companies years ago, we were sending the PowerPoints, and some of those cleaning companies, didn't do anything with them, didn't even acknowledge receipts. I don't know, maybe they didn't have PowerPoint on their computer. But as we were whittling down the list, the companies that got our attention were the ones that responded and asked questions, and the one we went with was the one that actually requested to walk through the property and the PowerPoint together with the owner of the cleaning company, CleaningBnB. And so, I think that's the piece where, as we look through how feasible is it to expect a cleaning company to, address these things directly with you? Well, it sure as hell should be very easy if you have the right cleaning company.
That's right. And, one of the things that, once again, we really appreciate about professional cleaning companies is that they make sure that all of their cleaners have the proper level of insurance. And that's another question as owners that we should be asking our cleaning company. Are you insured, and what level of insurance do you carry? Because if something were to happen and a guest links it to the cleanliness of the property, you're going to want to make sure that the cleaner is properly insured, because if they're not, guess what? That's going to ladder right up to you, the owner. So that is a very key question. Are you insured? How much are you insured for? And can you show me a copy of your policy? That should be something that they should always have, that one pager that they can show to you saying that I am not only insured, it's effective, it's current, and my premium is current as well.
Yeah, I would say 99% of cleaning companies, if you ask them if they're insured, they're going to say yes. If you ask them to show you, maybe that drops to 90% can actually show you. I don't know what the exact percentages are, but it's very easy in a in a close-ended question just to say, "Yep, we're insured." Do the work, do the follow up, inspect what you expect, and make sure that you can validate that. And what is the right level of insurance that your cleaning company should hold? That really depends. And as always, consult your attorney. Consult your. We had Proper Insurance on the podcast. If you're working with Proper, reach out to Proper. Maybe they can, maybe they can't answer the question. But if you've built the right relationship with a vendor, they're going to be able to maybe point you in the direction of where you can find that answer. And sometimes that is, the opinion of your attorney, or the direction of your attorney as to what level you should you should expect a cleaning company to have. Because the scenario where a cleaning company is sued, having done work at your property, and the cleaning company says, "Oh, sorry, we're not insured." Attorney says, "Okay, cool, never mind." That's not going to happen. I mean, they're going to look for the person that is responsible. And if you're the property owner that hired a cleaning company that wasn't insured, maybe there's a now a dotted line connection to this is your responsibility because you allowed someone to do service within your space that didn't have the right insurance. So now who's liable? And you just don't want to add. You don't want to have those questions popping up. You want very clear answers to those types of questions.
And, we can't do this podcast on Dirty Little Secrets 2.0 without talking about laundry once again, because it references right back to that $180 for 4,000 square feet. And again, we're going to remind our listeners, if you've got an 8-bedroom home, if you've got a 6-bedroom home, a 7-bedroom home, a load of laundry is usually in a typical large residential washer dryer, you can do about 15 pounds. 15 pounds is not very much. Let me break this down for everybody. It takes an hour to launder or to wash and 45 minutes to dry. So every 15 pounds is going to take an hour and 45 minutes. So do the math. If you've got a larger home and you've got to do all of the laundry for the 8 bedrooms, depending on how many beds you have, that's going to be at least 5 or 6 loads of laundry because it's going to include towels as well. Well, linens and towels for a larger home, 6 to 7 hours for just doing the laundry. That's a great benchmark. They should at least be in your home that long cleaning. But if they're not spending that amount of time in your home, you're not getting the laundry done correctly. And that's going to set you up for failure as well as a bad experience for the guest. And once again, $180, 7 hours, the math doesn't work and never will.
Early in my career with STR, I walked into a property, and I walked into the property, and there was sort of like this musty smell, and I was like, "Oh, well, this is not good because this is supposed to be clean." And the cleaning company didn't know I was going to be there. I was just popping in real quick to check out the location, and all of these bed sheets. I mean, probably like 5 full sets of bed sheets are, when like a little kid builds a fort with sheets, between like the couch and the coffee table. Well, that's what it looked like. The whole living room and kitchen and dining room just had white bed sheets spread across the entire first floor. And I'm like, I'm still figuring a lot of this out. And I'm like, what is happening? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Are there people under these sheets? Are they playing Fort? I really have no idea. And so I'm like, all right, well, I gotta do something. So I start, just rolling them up while I'm calling the cleaning company. And then the cleaner shows up and, just shocked that I'm there, and, just talk to them for a while. And turns out that, to the cleaner, who's not the owner, they're an employee of the cleaner, the only way that they could get uh, the property sort of cleaned within the allocated time that this cleaning company owner was scheduling them for, was if they stuffed all of the laundry possible into the washer, and they ran it on a quick cycle, and then they took it all out and air dried it by spreading it all over the house, and then they would leave and go do another house. And then after they were done with that home or another home, they would come back, and then they would put all the laundry onto the beds. And I'm just like, okay, well, that doesn't work. Just thinking about how many homes right now, as we record this episode, how many homes have all of their sheets and towels just draped over all of the furniture in their home air drying because these cleaners who aren't to blame. I mean, these cleaners are employees for cleaning companies, and these cleaning companies are trying to get business, but they're doing it the wrong way because they're, it's a in their mindset, it's a race to the bottom on price. And then the only way they can make a buck off of that is to assign one cleaner, an 8 bedroom house to do in 2 hours. And that's the only way they can make money. So that's how they're going to do it. And then you start to just see all these really disgusting shortcuts popping up, like the, let's call it Sheetgate of 2016 or whatever it was. But yeah, that was really that was the eye opener for me of, okay, shortcuts are going to be made. Um, it's our job to understand what those shortcuts are, and then work with cleaning companies that have the systems and processes so we can clearly understand and see the vision as to how those shortcuts aren't rewarded. Because I think that kind of where this problem stems from is, these types of shortcuts are rewarded by some cleaning companies, and that's the wrong direction to be providing your teams.
And, I think if the listeners are wondering, gosh, why are we talking about cleaning again? Well, we've talked about this on prior episodes. The competition is more fierce now than ever. Coming out of
Yeah.
COVID, competition is fierce. And our competitors, hotels, they do an outstanding job on cleanliness and on safety. And we've got to up our game. So, in my opinion, there's no better time to talk about this important topic once again when the competition is so high. And if a guest checks into any short term rental and cleanliness standards and safety standards aren't being met, that just is one more thing that pushes them back into the hotels and away from short term rentals. So, we've got to up our game. We've got to be at least as good as the hotels. We have to take responsibility for that as owners, and we have to make sure that we are putting the level of diligence into cleanliness and safety that is warranted for the hospitality business.
Yeah, and listen, I mean, we're still a growing entity. We're trying to share all of our insights, uh, and be fully transparent with everyone, and just basically give everyone everything. And I get 20 plus calls a week from short-term rental owners who want to talk, and maybe they're struggling. Maybe they're struggling to get rentals, or they're struggling with other aspects of their short-term rental business that they're running, and they've come across our podcasts, and I'm here to help, and it's something that I take great pride in. But when I dig into reviews, or I talk to them and see that there's been some issues with cleanliness that have become maybe more public than an owner would ever want, in the forms of guest ratings and reviews and feedback, it's a tough spot because there's not a lot I can do for you. I mean, those reviews, TC. I mean, we're very, knock on wood. Our reviews have been solid. Um, we've never had to deal with someone who wasn't unhappy uh, after checkout, because even if there's a mistake, we're on top of it from an over communication standpoint. But as soon as you get a review on your property that says, "Oh, I checked in and it was dirty," I don't yet understand how there's no quick fix there. You basically just need to keep driving people to your property and giving them an extremely clean, sanitary, pristine experience, and over time those good reviews noting cleanliness will overtake those bad reviews. But I mean, it's not necessarily a touch of death to have a uh, poor cleanliness review, but it certainly could be. It certainly could be if you get a couple of those back to back, because no guest, especially when they're comparing to all the hotels and everything that are doing a great job, and have these same system standards and processes that we're talking about and expecting your cleaning company to have. Um, it's really tough to recover from that, right?
That's right. So let's break this down. So here's our recommendation, Dirty Little Secrets 2.0. First, it starts with finding the right cleaning company and doing your job as an owner I've got to do my job as an owner. And going through the interview process and asking questions. So here are the questions. Are you insured? How much are you insured for? And can you provide me that one page proof of insurance that I require? That's number one. Number
And
two,
it, and if they can't, cut and go to the next company. Then number
that's
two.
right. That's right. It's over.
Yeah.
Assuming that they can demonstrate and provide you a copy of the appropriate amount of insurance. The next is show me the cleaning checklist and the amount of time you spend and how you clean the home. Show me the discipline that you apply to making sure my home is clean. Secondly, show me the safety checklist that you provide so that I can be confident that my home is not only clean, but you're also looking at various safety aspects as well. And now let's say that they cross all of those hurdles and you feel like they're viable candidates and you decide to bring them on board as your cleaning company. Great. Now, as owners, our job is to set them up for success. Create that PowerPoint template that has pictures and some text boxes of how you want each room staged. That's going to be really efficient for your cleaning company, going room by room, not only cleaning, but leaving it set up and staged so that it's ready for the guest. And if you're in an area of the country where the cleaning team could be a different language, use Google Translate and provide both English and another language that's appropriate for your area so that you're being respectful of the cleaning team. And now, once you've got that in place, now you start getting into the nitty gritty of doing the pre and post photos. Pre guest check in, post guest checkout, take photos. Have the evidence, have the proof that your home was in great shape when they checked in. And then when they check out, take pictures again, just in case you have to file a claim with the Airbnbs or the Verbos of the world. And now you've set yourself up and the guest up for success and a great stay. And you position the short term rental industry not only as a viable option, but as a competitive advantage against the hotels that have such limitations that we can actually exceed in a short term rental.
And when you look at those emails that you get offering a cleaning cost of ridiculously low price for the property, and that cleaning company is saying, oh well, I can do all of your laundry in one load, and I can clean a bedroom in 5 minutes. There's no level of magic to cleaning. I mean, cleaning is a tedious, high touch. You can't really shortcut it. The only way you can shortcut cleaning is by not cleaning. And I think that's the important reminder when you're looking at the price and then running through and considering running through this exercise. Really should be required exercise for selecting a cleaning company. I would I would recommend that company that reaches out to you with a ridiculously low price, an unreasonable price for the number of bedrooms or square footage you have, probably doesn't even require your time to reach out about the insurance. I think it's that recommendation that there are good solutions out there. There are really great cleaning companies out there. We've worked with them. We've talked to them. Of course, we advocate heavily for our sponsor, but there are great cleaners out there who are passionate about what they do, who are committed to doing a great job, and they run it much like we advise everyone listening here. We They run it like a business, just like you run it like a business. So those great cleaning companies, how often does the owner clean? Maybe not as often, but it doesn't mean they're sitting at home doing nothing. They're going in because they understand I have to inspect what I expect. And if I expect this house to be clean, if I have a owner who's providing me a PowerPoint with pictures and I walk through this property with the owner and we went room by room and aligned on the pictures and the expectation of the pictures, well, now I've got to do that with my cleaners. I've got to make sure that what they're conveying to me, the owner is conveying to me, the cleaning business owner, is being conveyed to my cleaning teams. These are not high dollar per hour workers. We support specifically cleaning B&B because we know, and they're very transparent on the expectations for cleaning companies and what the advisement is, and they work with cleaning companies who want to maximize the earning potential of their cleaners because they understand that is a key to retention and quality. Um, but you can't look at price as a determining factor. If you think it's too high, if you think it's too low, ask the
And
questions.
and this may be a ridiculous example, and you have full license to call me out if it's a stupid example. But if you got an email saying, "Hey, I can change your oil in your vehicle for $4.95."
Yep.
Wouldn't we all stop and think, "Wait a minute.
Right.
5 quarts of oil, an oil filter, labor, 4.95 in 5 minutes. That's unrealistic."
And,
Well,
and they'll wash it. And they'll wash it.
exactly. And of course that's unrealistic. You should have the exact same mindset when you get these ridiculous offers for a 4,000 square foot home for $180. It's no different than an oil change in 5 minutes for $4.95. It can't be done. Now, if you show up and get your oil changed for $4.95, well, you're probably not getting clean oil. You're probably not getting a new oil filter. And who knows if they're going to put the gasket back on the screw and they put it back in your oil tank. So buyer beware is kind of what you have to be familiar with when you take the bait on these ridiculous offers. But I rant again. I'm known for my rants. I'm known for my summaries. I've got to get off my rant.
No, you're good ranting and summarizing, and I'm good thinking about how our listeners may push back, right? And I think that's why we work, because and I'm going to end it on this. TC, you're telling me to do this. You're telling me to work with these great cleaning companies. I can't afford them because I can't push that cost over on the cleaning fee on these OTAs. If they're charging, if they're quoting me for, and I don't have a number, let's just quote 350. They're quoting me $350 for a cleaning TC. I can't put that into the cleaning fee at Airbnb. They're going to tear me apart. And Airbnb's talking a lot right now about getting cleaning fees under control. What do I do? The cleaning fee on Airbnb is not the only avenue, right?
That's exactly right. And again, 350, if your first reaction is it's too much, we're going to ask you to think differently. 350 is what it costs to create a safe and clean environment. That's the cost. So what can you do? Well, you can offer a premier property and increase your rates a little bit. You can direct rent and not have the 15% platform fees. There's many things you can do to enhance your economic model, but it's going back to the oil changing example.
Yeah.
If it costs $21.95 to change your oil, you don't say to yourself, I can't afford to drive this car because I've got to pay $21.95 for an oil change every 5,000 miles. Well, that's ridiculous.
Right.
$21.95 is a cost. You got to pay for oil. You got to pay for filters. You got to pay for life. Same as cleaning. The 350 is the cost. And now you've got to look at your economic model. Make sure you're self-managing. Don't pay a manager. You've got to drive towards direct rentals. You can eliminate that 15% platform fee. And you've got to offer a premier property, pristine property, safe property, so that you command the rents to further enhance your economic model. But the go-to is not find the lowest cost provider of cleaning. That really
Right.
is a backwards way of thinking about it.
Yep. You can win in this space by self-managing. You can win in this space by executing at a high level. And I mean, it really just always boils down to that. And each and every one of our episodes is take the high road, do business the right way, and work with great people. So I think TC that this is a great place to wrap it up. You've summed it up already, and I think we've touched on a lot of aspects of cleaning. So, as always, TC, thanks for the time. All of our listeners out there, thanks for continuing to tune in and letting us share all of our knowledge and insights with you with Vacation Rental Blueprint. Check us out, strconsultants.co, for more valuable insights. We've got links to all of our different avenues of conveying our message across podcasts and YouTube and social media. And as always, share, like, subscribe, and tell your friends about us. And we look forward to seeing you and talking to you for future episodes. Until then, happy hosting.